Tell me you guys get here tomorrow.
The game's at
6:30.
by 5.
By 5?
Yeah.
Tree coming in? Yeah, I'll come in. Maddie's going to start without us. All right, if the cameras are ready, we'll go for press conference number 1. I apologize about the tablecloth. We'll have to fix for tomorrow night. Questions for Maddie?
Well, Maddie, what do you like about this group that you've seen so far through preseason?
I like our togetherness. I feel like obviously we lost Lily, who was a really integral part of our offense, defense, everything. So we've kind of had to band together in a different way where a lot of people have a bigger role. It's just kind of more evenly divided between everyone. So I think that's brought us together a lot. There's a lot of team camaraderie and we talk about celebrating the little victories. So just being more excited for each other, and I think it's going to be a good year.
How about from an X's and O's standpoint, when not having Lily, because she was kind of a versatile big, you guys get faster? Is it a little bit more up-tempo? Like, what changed from an X's and O's standpoint with this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's known that we always play kind of an inside-out game, whether that's penetrating or throwing it into the post and looking for open threes. But I think, like I said, more people realize that they have to have bigger roles and be a little more consistent, which I personally think is harder to guard when you have a lot of our offense was ran through Lily last year, rightfully so. She was an amazing scorer. But now that we don't have that just one dominating person, we have like 5 dominating forces in at all time, because Emily is amazing and she has a lot of really good experience. And then obviously we have a ton of good shooters, really good shooters. So I think it's more just there's a lot more ball movement, and I feel like last year we would kind of throw it in sometimes and watch Lily just like stand back and stand around a lot. So we've overemphasized moving on offense and throwing it in, getting it back out, and just like keeping things moving versus kind of being stagnant when the post has the ball and just like letting her go to work. Our posts have been really good about passing it out too, so I feel like it's a little bit different as far as ball movement goes.
How are things different with John running the show now?
I mean, they've kept it pretty consistent for us, I think, just to make sure there was no like big dip when Coach Barnes left or anything. But I think it's Coach Nick is very much a player's coach, so he's super encouraging, and we've talked a lot about body language and simple things, just like high fives, like overemphasizing those kinds of things. So he kind of lets us run the show a little more. I think we're all kind of trying to feel out what this newer system is, because a lot of the things we're doing are the same, but he has a lot of trust in us and vice versa. So I think he kind of gives us a little more free reins to, if you see something and you see a play that you think you can be called, you call it. Like, I don't have to call a play every time down the floor. He's super encouraging though, and it's been fun having him adjust into like his new role and then us kind of reacting to it. I think it's been a good combination. So
A couple new girls on this team this year. What have you seen from them, and do you expect them to help this team out this year?
yeah, I think this is the first year in a few years where we haven't had like older transfers come in. It was Abby Leiber, obviously a sophomore, and then some younger freshmen. And I say all the time that they're way better than I was as a freshman. They're honestly hard to play against. They go hard every single day. I think if I came in as a freshman and I had to battle against like 6 fifth years every day, that would be a little daunting and might kill your confidence. But they never back down. They give us a run for our money every single day, and they're just really good teammates. Like we say in practice, you're only as good as the last person off your bench, or you're only as good as like how hard your scout team is going, because without them, we can't prepare for any team. So they've been really amazing, and they're obviously a super integral part to what we're doing, because if they don't run the other team's sets right, we have nothing to get ready for or go against. So they're like nothing short of super impressive for how young they are.
Xavier tomorrow, what did you see from them on film?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little different because they had a big coaching change. So we've kind of been watching like what their coaches did at Iona, and then personnel, obviously, who they are at Xavier, and then they've had some transfers and different things. So they're athletic, they're tall. It's a lot of what our coaches say. But I think for us, of course, we watch their personnel, but a big thing is watching film and then talking about what we can do best against it. So focusing on what we can control and what we can do against them versus like, oh, they're really good at this, so I hope like they don't run that. We're more like, okay, they run this is what we do that counters that, and just, it is the first game. Obviously, it's hard to have a lot of really good film for that first game, especially with a new team, new coaching staff. So just, I think this is a really good game for us to focus on what we've been talking about, which is everything we can control and not focusing too much on, hey, if they hit all these shots, we're losing. So it's more just like, if we do what we know how to do, then we have a really good chance.
Is there a little extra motivation, or these teams have always been really close, but is there a little extra camaraderie trying to do this without Coach Barnes to try and, be a closer team to try and pick up the slack while he's not here?
Yeah, we've talked about, we faced a little bit of adversity already in the preseason. We've had a few coaching changes and things like that. I think it gives us a chip on our shoulder, but I also think we realize, and our coaches have said this, no one feels bad for us. Like, we got picked third after all that happened anyway, so people obviously still have respect for us and still think we're going to come out to play. So I think it put a little chip on our shoulder just knowing, okay, we kind of lost this piece, but we still have all our players. We're healthy. We have a really good associate head coach who stepped up and is taking like big steps in that role. So I think for us, we play best when we have a chip on our shoulder. Like, the best we ever played in recent years was 2 years ago when we had a huge chip on our shoulder. So I think if anything, it's motivated us and kind of made us more excited to get started and show people, like, we don't want you to feel bad for us because we want to kill you every game. So
Has Coach Barnes addressed the team in any way since he's been gone?
We've kind of been like giving him space. We know he has whatever with his family going on, and we want to respect that. I know more than a few of the girls have reached out to him and vice versa, just kind of checking in. We never want to be overbearing, and I think he doesn't want to like mess with us mentally in that way as well, just talking to us too much. But we've definitely checked in on each other, and we're like that though as a group. We're very close knit, and we're always checking on each other mentally. So nothing changes when something is going on with the coach as well. So yeah, we definitely checked in, but I think we're trying to respect whatever he has to deal with, and then just hoping he comes back. Thank you.
Yeah, all right, we got Shaylee Kirby. I think that this might be your first time doing this. I know you talked with Dre a couple times last year. This might be your first time here. It's one of the 6 fifth years. Go ahead with questions for Shaq.
Well, Shaylee, how's your experience this preseason been? What do you like about this group?
It's been pretty good. What I like about this group is that, like Maddie was saying, like, we're all super close. Like, it's one big family, and I think the biggest thing, we've been facing some adversity, so just how we're going to respond to that. And again, it's just we have to come closer than we have ever before, and just staying together. And when little things aren't going our way, then coming together and making sure we're just staying at a constant level the whole time and not getting down or too high, just being consistent.
Maddie said, playing with the chip on our shoulder, they kind of enjoy that role a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed a little extra camaraderie, a little extra closeness because of having to overcome, what's going on with Coach Barnes?
Yes, for sure. Like she said, and like I just said, with the chip on our shoulder, I think it definitely gives us, going into this first game, just they've had a coaching change, we've had things, so we're both going to want to, win this game and both come out very strong. But just like I said, we have to stay together, and no matter the adversity, like, we just have to be consistent again. And I think just being together all the time and playing how we know, then I think we'll be good.
I just thought, just generally speaking, this is the earliest you guys have started, I think, ever. Is the basketball season becoming too long? Is it starting too soon from a player's standpoint?
I think as a player, you can never start too early. We're all excited to get out on the court and play, so I think we're definitely ready.
Talk about some of the new players that are here and how, they can fit in this role here with this team.
Like Maddie said, in practice every day, no matter you're a freshman, a fifth year, like, everybody goes out every day and competes and goes hard, whether you're on the scout team or you're not. Like Maddie said, they've been giving us a run for our money and doing really good on the scout. So, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, everyone has a special role on the team, and they've been doing really good.
And Xavier tomorrow, what have you seen from them on film?
A big thing is we definitely need to box out and rebound. Like Maddie was saying, Lily was a huge rebounder for us. So I know other people like me as myself have been trying to crash the boards more and, get a lot of offensive rebounds. And I think we can play a little faster this year. So I think it'll be good to try and speed them up, get rebounds, push it out, play in fast tempo. So.
Is there anything different with John running
He's still our coach, whether he's an assistant, a head coach, it doesn't matter. We still respect him in the same way, and we trust him and he trusts us. So just him having the ability to stay with us and, again, respecting him and what he's doing and trusting him, then we should be fine.
Are practices pretty much normal? Every person in that position likes to make tweaks, so are things normal as they have been in the past?
I would say they're still pretty normal. Everybody has stepped up in a good role, and again, just trusting each other, and we take it day by day and come in and make sure we're focused and locked in and do what we have to do.
Thanks, Shaylee.
Thank
Good
you.
job. You know the drill, bring out the staff.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Questions for Coach Nick?
John, how have things progressed, since taking over this role?
They've gone well. It's gone well. We've had 2 scrimmages under our belt that we felt pretty good about. We saw some stuff from the scrimmages that were bright spots. Obviously, areas that we could improve upon, but so far it's gone pretty well.
So just from a standpoint of you, every assistant wants to be a head coach. I know you didn't want to be this acting head coach in this manner, but for you personally, to lead this team, what's that mean for you?
I'm excited for the opportunity. It's something that I've wanted to do. I've had opportunities at lower levels on some stuff that had some interest, but just wasn't the right time, different circumstances. But no, I'm excited, and I've tried to convey that excitement to the girls and let them know that we're all in this together.
Some of the players, interestingly said, no one's going to feel bad for us with this situation, which I think is, and they kind of enjoy having a chip on their shoulder. Like Maddie said, we play better when we have a chip on our shoulder. Have you noticed that? It's kind of it's not a man-made excuse, but it's one of those things where, they have this opportunity now to have that as something to play for.
Yeah, and I think that kind of played out 2 years ago, getting picked what we were picked in the preseason poll, and that was a big motivator. So going from last year being picked preseason number 1, then we didn't finish up the way we wanted. But no, I do think this is extra motivation for everybody.
Have you noticed maybe an increased sense of camaraderie amongst the girls? Because sometimes when things like this happen, they have to get closer together in order to pick up the slack.
That's a great example, and we've talked about that multiple times and kind of reiterated that today.
John, have you been in contact with John at all, or did you kind of let him go as he,
I mean, just briefly, but nothing recent, because we want him to have his time away and try to deal with his family and everything. So not constant contact, no.
Just talk about some of the new players that come in this year and how can they impact this team?
I think you'll see Abby Leiber prove to be a spark for us. She's had a good fall run, and the scrimmages, she was a bright spot for us. We've got Bella Sams, who has tried to understand what we want and everything and try to go from there. But the young kids are still trying to learn the ropes and everything, especially the freshmen and the expectations. But they're coming along.
Xavier tomorrow, what have you seen from him on film?
It's a little tricky with them just because they had a lot of kids transfer out, new kids coming in, but brand new coaching staff. Really, we've tried to go off of the previous staff where they were at with Iona and just watch film from the individual players from the places they've been in the past and at Xavier. But they're going to be long. They're athletic. They can create some havoc. We got to do a good job of making sure that we hold them in the half court and don't let them get out and run. We really need to do a good job defensively with these guys and make sure that we're boxing out and limiting possessions for them on the offensive end.
You talked about how the players have come together. What about your staff?
Oh yeah, we've kind of joked about this, like, hey, this is a chance for us to kind of get out of the roles that we had initially and kind of make light of it. Just that we're in this together. It's not just one person, and I feel like the staff has been really, really good and on the same page and doing a great job of kind of everybody just taking on extra responsibility since we are down one.
You don't ever want to lose players like you did last year inside, but did it make this team a little bit more multidimensional? Like Maddie was saying, now we've got threats all over the court rather than just, what we had inside last year.
Yeah, I mean, we're still going to throw the ball inside, but yes, I do think that we've kind of made it clear to them that we need everybody to kind of step their role up. It doesn't have to be one person per se, but I don't know that we're built this year for it to be one person dominating the stat sheet. So, from a coaching standpoint, to me that's nice because everybody's got to come ready to play and stay locked in. But on the flip side of that, I feel like that may make us a little harder to guard because we do have the balance.